We have it. Does anyone have any questions that directly they would want to ask Nick, or we can just start calling, and then perhaps if somebody does have a question, then we can definitely, address that as they come, for sure.
I don't think I have time calling just because, like, you know how it goes, right? Like how some calls are going to be a little bit longer. However, what I can do is I can talk about like my steps and kind of go over because I'm seeing some new people today. So I just want to maybe kind of go over what the online leads are and kind of like, what's important, what's not. I mean, in my opinion, and then kind of like what's happening to you for success. Because I actually get a lot of calls from a lot of agents after these calls. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm helping a lot of other agents, so yeah.
It's definitely yeah, for sure. There's the what was it, so we have Janet. So Janet is asking.
I'm seeing it. So basically, I don't know, I don't really get that. Maybe you're not getting the right numbers, or there's something going on your end. I would try calling them on a landline just to make sure that like it's not your phone or anything like that.
Yeah, like I don't understand. So Janet, so the phone doesn't ring. So when you're dialing out, you can't hear it ringing, like it's not connecting, or when you're receiving a call, okay, so it's not ringing. So that it's like it is ringing on the other end. Sometimes you can hear it doing that, like ringing, and sometimes you can't, just like our regular phones, right? Sometimes we call someone and all of a sudden they answer, you're like, oh, it didn't even ring. It was ringing still on their end. So if you're still practicing any kind of, call rules, if you're doing, whether it's Nick leaves voice messages, but then we also have the 23-25-second rule, that there often enough, if you're hitting the 23-25, you might hear one ring in there, but it is ringing on the other end for sure. And you can always try it where you put someone like even a spouse, create them as a lead or a friend and call them and see if it does the same thing and if their phone is ringing. So you can always test it out, and if it's not ringing, then definitely we'll have to figure out why it's not. Yeah.
But yeah, so like, for most people, obviously when you start calling, there's going to be, times where you're not going to get anyone, or you're going to get some people. But I think that in order for you to really try it out, like I think you need to carve 2 hours out of your day, like minimum, right? Like just because like the first hour, yeah, you deal with some BS sometimes, but like remember, it's just being consistent and keep calling, right? Like a lot of my leads that I get, a lot of the deals that I get from Agent Locator, they use me because I called and reached out to them. Like I went to 2 listing appointments on Friday. One was mine and the other one was a team member, both from Agent Locator. And basically the first one that I went to, she was like, hey, yeah, like I really like that you called me and you reached out. So, like
people are looking. So the thing is that our world has gone so automated, and for one, not everyone trusts those text messages that go out to being an actual person. So therefore, some people just aren't responding simply because of that, but some are looking to have conversations, for sure, right? And we're not giving them. They're looking for that human connection a little bit more than previously. So yeah, it's definitely pick up the phone and call. You're not doing it, somebody else is.
Yeah, and also too, like that means like, if someone's responding back to you on text message, like respond to them that way, but make sure you reach out. Like for example, I have a listing coming out today. I got someone came on my home worth page from the same street, and they reached out. So over the past 2 days, I reached out via email. Okay. And then the third day or the fourth day, I gave that person a call, and it was a warm call. They thanked me, and like the thing is like most of these people are in the beginning of their search. So if you can lock them down at the beginning of their search and make them trust you, guess what? You just got a client. Yeah, maybe the payday is not today, but in 6 months, a year, maybe a year and a half, you're gonna get that deal, right? And like that's what real estate is. You're kind of like walking down the line. You have your like jugs of water, and you're planting your seeds and you're watering them, right? That's the most important thing that you need to do. Does Nick have scripts when he calls? Like, yes, I have scripts, but they're all in my head because like, in real estate, you have to be scripted. You have to not sound like a robot. You have to know like what's kind of going on and where you're going to lead the conversation. That's how you're a professional, right? You're not this is what the competition is. Hey, it's, you know, Nick calling. You came onto my website. How was the list? Did you like anything? Do you want to go see? Do you want to take a look at the house? Do you have to sell your house? You know, they're not even asking questions like that. They're actually being even worse personally. So that's your competition. So a little bit about how my scripts work. So what I do differently is I come from a customer service based role. So for example, hey Nick, how are you? I'm good. You know, I'm just actually calling you because, you know, I saw that you came onto my website on morettirealestate.com, and I just want to touch base just to make sure you had a great user experience. How has the list of homes been? Let them talk. You know, oh, okay, it's okay. Okay, no problem. The reason why I'm calling is obviously just to introduce myself. And I want to make sure that I'm not just like any other realtor that's sending you a list of homes that doesn't even know what they're sending you. So I want to actually make the relationship call and say, hey, and see what you're looking for. You know, is this what you're like? I see that you put in Pickering, you know, 3 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms. Is that what you're looking for? No, I'm actually looking in Clarington. I'm looking to spend 8 to $1 million, you know, and then you start fixing their thing up. And then from there, I go, okay, perfect. Well, hey, let me ask you a question. Do you need to sell before you buy, or do you need to purchase? Because now if let's say if they just have to purchase, cool, you can go onto your script. But if they have to sell, be like, hey, I understand that you're in the information stage, and usually this takes between 3 to 18 months. You know, me as your realtor, my job is to give you what I'm seeing. So I'm going to send you the right information. I actually have a tool that's super important that you will find useful. It's actually called the Nosy Neighbor campaign. And let's be real, we're all nosy neighbors. You know what I mean? Oh, I get their address, and then I put them in their database. And guess what? You do this with enough leads, now you'll have like I think just myself, I have over 70, and like Kayla on my team member has like at least 15 or more. And she just started it in August. So now you're just getting like a buy list, and now you're starting to get the seller list without doing a seller campaign. Do you know what I'm saying? So like, I don't know. I just think it's golden stuff. You know what I mean? Like I get super excited with this because this is going to make your life easier. And like now, like your money that you're spending is working extra hard because you're doing it correctly. You're not just letting it waste. You know? So anyways, after that, I just basically say like, okay, perfect. After I do that, well, no problem. You know, if they have to sell their house, I just essentially say, hey, you know, also too, I understand not now because you're in the information stage, but I'll follow up with you. But if you're available in the next week or two, I'd be happy to take a quick tour to let you know where your house is going to, you know, range at and narrow that range for you. And this is going to help you in your real estate equation because now you'll know what you'll sell for top dollar. And then that will help you on the purchase to get pre-approved, right? So you kind of just walk them through everything. And then like, usually when I get off the phone, I just essentially just say, sorry, I usually just say that like, you know, I'm going to give you a show back in a week and a half just to see how the list is and all that. I feel like it's important to do expectation.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, if you set the expectation of what you're doing next or when you're going to be doing that next, and then you follow through on that expectation, not just saying you're going to do it, right? So if you're setting a task, make sure you're following up on that task. You know, if you're not checking your CRM daily, make sure you're putting that task in your phone. Follow up is key. We're building trust and we have to earn the business, right? And so dropping the ball, we can't always earn that trust back.
Yeah, exactly. Sorry, just my seller. So yeah, listing days are always hard, right? Because it's just like pain. So yeah, basically like that's kind of what I do. And then like, you know, I just keep calling. For me, it's like, you know, when you get good at the game, right? Like for me, I only need to call, and as long as I talk to like 2 or 3 people, chances are I'm gonna get something from them. But before that, it used to be like 100. So, you know, the more you practice your scripts, the more you do that, you'll get a lot more efficient in lead genning. And guess what? This is going to make you a better agent regardless.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of what I think. I mean, what are people having trouble with? Like, are you guys having trouble with the first initial call? Are you having trouble with the whole script? Like I know there's only 5 people on here, but like, what do you guys think?
think anyone's
Sorry.
commenting. We all
Yeah.
usually have our internal scripts that we use. And one of the things I encourage is we do have all of these live dialing sessions, whether it be with Nick or with Beverly. They're all on our YouTube channel. And we have one playlist that's just all the cut-ups. So the cut-ups of, instead of having to sit there and watch the full hour-long webinar, you can watch just a little fraction of it where it's focusing or discussion on a certain topic, or there's a call happening. So you can see and listen how it's more or less where you need to be scripted is more or less in the introduction in how you're starting that conversation. And just always have, even in point form in front of you, I always say it's the when, the where, the what, the why, right? So when, that's the primary focus. We need to know when they plan on moving and actioning that criteria. So you know how to follow up with them. The why is why they're moving in their situation. So you know where they're at and why they're not moving now and what you can be doing to educate them to earn that business. And then it kind of goes into their criteria where now we want to make sure that we're nurturing you and giving you what you're wanting so that we can continue to follow up and educate you through that process. So it's the timeline is crucial, and that's the biggest piece of the puzzle that I can almost say in every account I look in is missing on a lot of the conversation, the notes that I read.
100%. And also too, so I'll go through some of the questions here as well, Crystal.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
Janet, biggest problem, people don't want to talk in meeting, busy, etc. To be honest, yes, that happens sometimes. I agree. But if you're getting most of those calls, it's because of your script. If you're getting that response, it's because of your script. I've had people where they told me they're being in meetings and then they're still on the phone with me for 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And I had that a lot. Okay. So number two, Katrina, regarding the problem lately are bad leads and low leads. So obviously two things here. It's based on your budget. Like my budget's a lot more, like it's in the 4 digits. So like, yeah, I'm going to get a lot more leads. But if you're only having the minimum, you have to realize that you're only going to get a limited amount. So if I were you and you want to jump your business up, bump that ad budget. Because remember, it's the ad budget. This doesn't go to agent locator. This just gets them to get you people to your door, right? So that's number one. And then number two, leads are bad. I mean, I hear you, you get bad leads, but I mean, I think it could be your script as well too. Because like, look, this is the thing. I know I'm a professional at it and I'm a master, but like I just have a new team member, Kayla, and she's doing phenomenal. She's listened to my script. She's listened to my guidance. And like, she had the same problem like everybody here that's saying it. But like when she got on my team, it wasn't like that anymore. So it comes down to your scripts and confidence. And like, yeah, you're going to get bad leads. Like it is what it is, but I find it hard to believe, even if you do 250, you get what, 40, 25, 30 leads. Let's call it 30, right, Crystal?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Out of those 30 leads, maybe 7, 8 of them will be bad, but there's no way 23 or even 20 of them are bad. Mm-hmm. And if it is, then you may have to switch your area. Like maybe it's the area. Maybe you should look at other areas that are local to you and try them out to see what quality leads you're getting. That's what I did. So
and what constitutes a bad lead for you, Katrina? Because everyone has their own
bad leads to me is garbage email, garbage phone number.
Fake. That's a bad lead. Yeah, that's everything else. Yeah, that's not. Yeah, that's a garbage lead. A lot of us indicated garbage are a bad lead is somebody that's not moving right now. So that's bad email and bad phone number. Lots.
Okay.
Now, the email. So with leads, essentially, sometimes you can spot it, and you guys do have suppression. So sometimes it shows that it's a bad email, but there's actually just a suppression on it, which in some cases you're able to easily just remove it. But again, keep in mind that a lot of times when we look at anything, when we look at their emails or their phone numbers, we're all in such a fast-paced world where we're always in a rush. And a lot of times for no given reason whatsoever, we're just in a hurry. Now, obviously, that only creates room for error when we're filling out forms or doing things online. So if you can spot the error, some people, like I notice it all the time where the email's bad, but you can spot a spelling mistake in the email because they spelled their name wrong or they missed the M and .com, simple things like that. So edit that email and resend them the listings to see if it delivers. The phone number, of course, if you're marking it as invalid, it's going to prompt that person to give you a valid phone number. And really, unless it's like obvious it's fake, like 1 2 3 4 5, that sort of thing. But often enough when it changes, it's just a very minute change that you see in that number when they do update it. But unfortunately, you know, trying to look at a phone number and figure out where the error is like cracking a safe code. We wouldn't be able to do it unless it's the area code that they mixed up. So it's, you can essentially get some good information on some of those bad leads. And the good thing is, though, is the people that are deliberately giving you bad information, they're doing that everywhere they go. So every other agent that's getting that lead, because they're going all over the place, they're all getting crappy information for that person. So
yeah,
it's hard to control, like, for sure.
Yeah, I don't mean to cut you off there, Crystal, my apologies. But also too, like, yeah, like, you know, and that's the thing, if you can get them down pat, like, you know, the first time, then you don't need them. They're not going to go to any other websites, or if they do, they're going to forward you the listing, right? The second part is, what was I going to say? I forgot. Okay, I'll come back to that. But like going back to Katrina, I see what you're saying. So only 15 leads in the past 30 days. Yeah, I would call Agent Locator, see what's going on with your campaigns, but it could just be the area. Remember, like, you know, like there's not like millions of people looking to be in one area. You know what I'm saying? So, and it also depends on the timing and the trends, right? Like, I know that sounds crazy and it's not an excuse, but that's what it is, right? Because you're finding real life people who are looking for those areas at real time, right? So you might have 1-2 days silent. You know, and then like 1-2 days silence and then like follow up, right, and see what happens. But 1 or 2 days silence, but then the third day you'll get like maybe 4 or 5 leads. But honestly, if I were you, like, you know, and I don't know what your scenario is, but you need a bigger budget. Like, you need a way bigger budget. You know what I'm saying? Like 15 leads, even if you're getting that in that area and that's the area you want to be in, cool. But like, you need about 50 leads coming in a month. Remember, these are online leads, and you need, like, the way to build a lot of wealth in real estate is you need abundance of leads. Right now, you're not getting abundance of leads. You need abundance of leads. And like, the problem is right now is that if you don't door knock, you can do open houses, great. But, you know, with COVID too, like, there's only limited ways of kind of getting in face to face with people. So like, you know, for me, my best approach is obviously face to face. So that's why I did door knocking and all that stuff. But I've switched even heavier once COVID happened, because I've learned that I have to get people on the phone first, like them, and then set a meeting to do the face to face. So once you, like, you know, change a little bit, like maybe your scripts and maybe how certain things are done, you'll probably get a little bit more success. Like, you can connect on me on Instagram and I can kind of give you some sort of rundown. But you know, that's kind of what I'm doing. And I think anybody in here, like, you know, it's consistency calling though, right? Like, that's what it is.
Yeah.
There's no secret pill. I wish there was, or else I'd be taking it like 2 times a day. You know? So that's just what it is. I know it's tough. I know it's dry. I know you want to like friggin' rip your eyeballs out sometimes, but like, this is the most boring part about real estate. And this is the most important part about real estate. It's funny how it's both, because if you don't do lead gen, you're not going to get future business. And that means you're not growing your bank account. If that's what your goals are, no problem. You're hitting your goals. But if you want to be 6 figure, 7 figure, maybe 8 figure, you need to do it this way. And you need to teach other people to do it this way. So, you know, like, I'm super passionate about it. So, I mean, like, I'm not yelling at anyone. I'm just Italian. You know what I mean? So yeah, regarding videos, yeah, on some of them, not on all of them, but like some of them. And I'm thinking of doing it more so to do it, because you know what, if I can get someone on a quick 3 or 5 second video, they know who I am. If I can catch their attention and bring a hook in, I think it'll be more powerful than anything. Yeah, exactly. But like, we all have great ideas. It's about executing it, and it's about like making it a habit, and like not manually doing these things, setting up automatic campaigns that automatically do this shit for you. But I think what's important is doing a couple videos and then like trying it out in your database, like figure it out. Like, it's just trial and error.
Yep.
Do you buy scripts in the earliest days? So no, I'm with Keller Williams. So the only scripts I bought was like the listing, the lead gen, and the buying. And then I went on Mike Ferry and I went on his questions, but I didn't buy anything. But like, remember, like how I started my business in real estate is I went solo for a little bit. I joined my mentor's team at that time, and like joining a team was huge. Like I was making 6 figures in my first year on a team. No one does that. So like, I just picked the right person that fit who I was as a person and where I want to grow my business, and everything worked out. So, everyone has to realize like real estate is a pay for play sport. Like this is a 90% dropout in the first year. So if you don't want to be a dropout, work hard and open your wallet. It sucks, but like, hey guys, if you're going to be here for 5, 10, 15 years, you're going to get the money back. So, don't be scared. Don't be scared to make money. So that's what I would tell you. And be consistent with your calls. What's consistent? Not a week, like 4 weeks. That's consistency. 28 days to build a habit, 4 weeks. Meaning calling, either 2 hours, 3 hours a day, or time blocking 10 hours out of that week. So maybe in 2 days you do 5 hours each, but you do it. And like, okay, how about if you don't have a lot of leads on Agent Locator? Well, figure your shit out. Go to your database. If you don't have a database, build a database, right? Go to your spheres of influence, do all these other things, right? There's so much ways to make money, guys. Like it's not that hard. It's just, it consists of effort and being a little bit lucrative.
Confident in what you're doing.
Right. And like, look, I've already closed like 17 leads from Agent Locator this year, and I have more for next year. And I'm working, Kayla and I are both having buyers, like 5 to 10 buyers each signed under contract. And like, that's the other thing. Like when I go show showings with Agent Locator leads, I like everyone's business is different, but I sign BRAs before showing them any type of property. I know some people don't like that. Kayla didn't like that. But once she got on my team, I got her to my Moretti boot camp, and she now only does BRAs now. I think she's signing more BRAs than I am. Like seriously, I've been slacking on my calls a little bit, but I've been busy with work. But like, that's the best part. Like Agent Locator, and I don't get any kickback, guys. Agent Locator is like, it's a really, really good tool to make business happen. Like I'm already on Market Leader. Market Leader sucks. I hate it. I actually hate Market Leader. It's not the greatest. And then I tried Bold Leads before. Bold Leads is okay, but you're spending like 1,600 Canadian. So, I mean, if you want to do that, do it. But I find for the budget, I find like for what your money is getting you and the best value, I find that Agent Locator is where it's at, especially if you're a new agent and you don't have that money. Right? Remember, guys, if you guys want to be busy, put that budget up to 500 or 1,000, right? And then let it be there for 2-3 months. You can always change it back down. But if you guys want to be busy now, like in my personal opinion, everyone, right? Well, okay, I'm not going to give you this. This is the way I think. And so far it's been correct in the way, things have been playing out. But you guys have to realize too, like, how many agents are not working right now? Like it's getting to Halloween, come November. You know how many agents are slacking? The only ones that are going to be doing business still are the top 1% agents like I am and Kayla. You know what I'm saying? And if I were you guys, now knowing that your competition is not going to be working November, December, and January, why wouldn't you put your budget up? And why wouldn't you put your head down and call? Because if you do your calls now, by December, you'll have business for December, January, and February. Remember, January and February and March, usually no one makes one deal. Okay. If you're not in the top 1%, you're not doing a deal till April, maybe, or getting paid in April. So like,
think a spring market starts February. As much as we all think it starts in March, it's February. So, that's when you start to see the houses start going on the market is, the mid part of February. They're trying to get on before the rush, before there's competition. Obviously, the market has been different where inventory's been low, regardless of what time of year it was. But generally speaking, it was definitely, you got to start hammering out December, January, because you're going to get those people that are looking to move, and that's your sales pitch as well. Is let's go. It's we have no competition right now. It's the seller's market. We don't know if the market's going to shift, right? But let's
100%.
get you up before it does shift, if it's going to happen.
100%. Also, too, I was going to say, like, your market might be doing that. I'm finding that a lot of real estate agents, a lot of good real estate agents are telling their clients to list beginning mid-January, because that's when there's no inventory, and that's how you make real money. And that like, so I'm seeing a lot of that late Jan, and like sometimes you're right, spring market is starting middle of Feb or end of Feb, but usually it's before March break, like the first week of March. So
yeah, no,
I'm just saying for Toronto where I am, you know what I mean? Like
and it's a lot of areas, but yeah, knowing when your competition is going to drop, right? So your competition is naturally going to drop November, December. They're going to turn off their campaigns. One thing that we always encourage is if you guys do need a break, don't turn your campaign off. Lower your budget significantly, so your campaign is still running.
100%.
You're not really getting any leads, but you are keeping the momentum of your ad. The minute you pause your ad and turn it back on, you're now at like par with every other person doing that, and you've now got to build up your ad back to where it was, and it may never get back to where it was. Whereas if you just kept it going, and even if you had like a $50 budget on it, you're keeping that momentum. It's keeping its status within Google, and so when you're ready to ramp it up, it's already going to be ahead of the competition.
Exactly.
So if ever you guys are, ever considering or needing a break, like if you can afford to just keep it going, but at a much lower monthly spend, then by all means keep it going instead of pausing it.
100%. Sorry, guys. All right, I kind of have to go because my phone's blowing up and I need to get certain things done.
No worries.
Everyone has a great day. Sorry this was short, but the next one I will be doing calls, and you guys can see then. Yeah. But if you guys have any questions, follow me on Moretti Real Estate. Reach out to me. I will help you guys out.
Perfect. Awesome. Well, thanks for your time today, Nick. Short and sweet, but to the point. Thanks everyone for joining us, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks for Nick or next week for Beverly.
Got it.
Awesome.
Let me know if you guys need anything. Thanks, Crystal. Bye, everyone.
Bye.